Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Written contract or certificate of insurance. Protection against future loss. Promise of reimbursement in the case of loss, paid to people or companies so concerned about hazards that they have made prepayments to an insurance company. Written contract or certificate of insurance. Written contract or certificate of insurance. You should have read the small print on your policy. A line of argument rationalizing the course of action of a government. They debated the policy or impolicy of the proposed legislation. A plan of action adopted by an individual or social group. It was a policy of retribution. A sum of money paid in compensation for loss or injury. Protection against future loss. Legal exemption from liability for damages. Become smaller or draw together. Enter into a contractual arrangement. Reduce in scope while retaining essential elements. Contract bridge. The highest bid becomes the contract setting the number of tricks that the bidder must make. Make or become more narrow or restricted. A variety of bridge in which the bidder receives points toward game only for the number of tricks he bid. Compress or concentrate. Engage by written agreement. Squeeze or press together. The spasm contracted the muscle. Be stricken by an illness, fall victim to an illness. A binding agreement between two or more persons that is enforceable by law. Make smaller. The heat contracted the woolen garment. Payment extorted by gangsters on threat of violence. Every store in the neighborhood had to pay him protection. A covering that is intended to protect from damage or injury. They had no protection from the fallout. Defense against financial failure, financial independence. Insurance provided protection against loss of wages due to illness. The imposition of duties or quotas on imports in order to protect domestic industry against foreign competition. He made trade protection a plank in the party platform. Kindly endorsement and guidance. The condition of being protected. They were huddled together for protection. The activity of protecting someone or something. The witnesses demanded police protection. A way of organizing business to reduce the taxes it must pay on current earnings. The condition of being protected. A structure that provides privacy and protection from danger. Invest money so that it is not taxable. Protective covering that provides protection from the weather. Provide shelter for. After the earthquake, the government could not provide shelter for the thousands of homeless people. Temporary housing for homeless or displaced persons. Defense against financial failure, financial independence. His pension gave him security in his old age. A formal declaration that documents a fact of relevance to finance and investment. The holder has a right to receive interest or dividends. An electrical device that sets off an alarm when someone tries to break in. A department responsible for the security of the institution's property and workers. The head of security was a former policeman. A guarantee that an obligation will be met. Property that your creditor can claim in case you default on your obligation. bankers are reluctant to lend without good security. Measures taken as a precaution against theft or espionage or sabotage, etc. Military security has been stepped up since the recent uprising. Freedom from anxiety or fear. The watchdog gave her a feeling of security. The state of being free from danger or injury. We support the armed services in the name of national security. An insurance policy covering loss of movable property, e.g. jewelry, regardless of its location. An insurance policy covering loss of movable property, e.g. jewelry, regardless of its location. A wanderer who has no established residence or visible means of support. Spots before the eyes caused by opaque cell fragments in the vitreous humor and lens. Floaters seem to drift through the field of vision. A debt instrument with a variable interest rate tied to some other interest rate, e.g. the rate paid by T-bills. An employee who is reassigned from job to job as needed. An object that floats or is capable of floating. A swimmer who floats in the water. A voter who votes illegally at different polling places in the same election. Insurance that provides protection for the loss of profits and continuing fixed expenses resulting from a break in commercial activities due to the occurrence of a peril. Insurance against loss due to theft or traffic accidents. Insurance issued jointly by two or more underwriters. Insurance against loss due to fire. Low-cost insurance that is valid only for a stated period of time and has no cash surrender value or loan value. Term insurance is most often associated with life insurance policies. Insurance against loss due to theft or traffic accidents. Insurance paid to named beneficiaries when the insured person dies. In England, they call life insurance life assurance. Insurance purchased by physicians and hospitals to cover the cost of being sued for malpractice. Obstetricians have to pay high rates for malpractice insurance. Sharing the risk by insurance companies. Part or all of the insurer's risk is assumed by other companies in return for part of the premium paid by the insured. Reinsurance enables a client to get coverage that would be too great for any one company to assume. Insuring yourself by setting aside money to cover possible losses rather than by purchasing an insurance policy. A binding commitment to do or give or refrain from something. An assurance of help when needed. Freedom from doubt. Belief in yourself and your abilities. His assurance in his superiority did not make him popular. A British term for some kinds of insurance. A statement intended to inspire confidence. The president's assurances were not respected. Insurance that is purchased by a group, such as the employees of a company, usually at a reduced rate to individual members of the group. Insurance that provides protection against certain risks such as storms or fires. Insurance against loss due to ill health. Insurance that provides protection from claims arising from injuries or damage to other people or property. Insurance paid to named beneficiaries when the insured person dies. In England, they call life insurance life assurance.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.